How can you end a series properly? When you've given everything to a fan base, the only question is, can you do it again? But this time, make it bigger and make it better. In 2002, Sly Cooper and the Thieves Raccoonists gave us a story about avenging one's clan. In 2004, Sly 2 Band of Thieves gave us a story about the importance of friendship. Both games are now tough acts to follow. You question, how can you end this series properly? People want a new narrative, new gameplay, and most importantly, a new installment. Welcome back to the Retro Fansons Retrospective. Here we're diving deep into Sucker Punch's third installment in the Sly series, Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves. If you're a fan of this content and would love to see more, hit that subscribe button, still that notification bell. Also, if you haven't already, please check out my other two Sly retrospectives so you're all caught up on the story. Let's dive into this. With the smashing success of Sly 2 Band of Thieves, fans of this stealthy platformer were hungry for more. They eagerly anticipated the next chapter in Sly Cooper's adventures, and Sucker Punch, the developer studio behind the series, wasted no time getting to work on Sly 3. However, unlike Sly 1 and Sly 2, development wasn't just a creative decision. It was born out of necessity. You might be wondering, why the rush? The answer lies in the rapid approaching release of Sony's next generation console, the PlayStation 3. At E3 2005, Sucker Punch unveiled demos of Sly 3 to an excited fan base. These demos offered a tantalizing glimpse into Sly 3's world, showcasing its new features including a multiplayer mode, fresh new characters, an array of vehicles, engaging minigames, disguises, enhanced combat moves, and levels that beg to be replayed. Yet, amidst all this excitement, Sony's announcement of the PlayStation 3 cast a shadow over Sly 3's development. Sly 3 had been in the works simultaneously with Sly 2's completion, and if Sucker Punch wanted to transition this game to the next console, they'd need to rebuild it from the ground up. Time was of the essence, as Sly 3 was operating on a tight deadline, which is the year between the release of Sly 2 and Sly 3. As a result, on September 26, 2005, Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves was finally unleashed upon the world, granting fans their long-awaited wish. Assuming you're familiar with the main characters in both Sly Cooper and the Thieves Raccoonists and Sly 2 Band of Thieves, in Sly 3 we have the thief himself. Sly Cooper, still voiced by Kevin Miller, is now aged 21. Bentley, the brains of the operations, is still voiced by Matthew Olson and is now aged 21. Murray, the prawns of the operation, is still voiced by Chris Murphy and is now age 21. Although, Inspector Carmelita Fox's voice actress has now changed a third time with Ruth Liviere. Carmelita is now age 23. The new characters in the story I will explain as I progress through the narrative. The narrative unfolds with Sly Cooper stealthily maneuvering through Kane Island in the South Pacific, cloaked in the shroud night at precisely 1:15 a.m. After dispatching 2 guards with his trademark finesse, he receives communication from Bentley, the tech-savvy brain behind the Cooper gang. Bentley informs Sly that the gang has assembled and is ready to assist him in infiltrating a heavy guarded vault. The mission is laid out before Sly, ensuring that every member of the gang is on the same page. Intriguingly, the Biocom introduction cleverly conceals the identities of all Cooper gang members, except for Sly and Bentley. This strategically employed to prevent spoilers and maintain the air of mystery. Sly proceeds deeper into the heart of the island, only to encounter a formidable obstacle, a group of guards positioned on support beams, obstructing his path along a narrow ledge. In response, Agent Heartthrob makes a dazzling entrance, deploying a Yak-86 RC chopper to clear the way. Soon after, Sly faces another challenge, a seemingly insurmountable gap. Here, Agent Old Rock enters the scene, tasked with toppling a nearby satellite tower to create a makeshift bridge for Sly to walk across. The gang's resourcefulness knows no bounds. As Sly advances, he encounters an air vent that offers a direct route to the ceiling of Dr. M's concealed underground lab. To gain access, Sly calls upon Agent Monarch, who orchestrates a pyrotechnic spectacle, blasting the vent wide open with well-aimed firework. Inside the lab, more obstacles await. Agent Deep Six takes center stage, employing his harpoon gun to demolish 2 formidable force fields, causing water from the outside to cascade into the lab. Sly's journey continues as he ascends to the top of the lab's elevator. Just as he reaches the destination, Dr. M and his henchman, Richards, enters the lab and engage in a seemingly innocuous conversation. Sly, perched above them on the elevator, eavesdrops on their conversation. During this fateful elevator ride, Dr. M's true nature is revealed. He coldly informs Richard that he won't be seeing his family again, having poisoned his drink earlier during lunch. Dr. M's ruthlessness is on full display, his intolerance for incompetence made clear when Richard fails to change security code from the default 123. In his final moments, Richard collapses, a victim of the lethal poison. As the elevator approaches the surface, Dr. M receives word of the water leak and descends once more, summoning a janitor to clean up the aftermath of Richards. Sly seizes this moment to make his daring exit, leaping from the elevator just before it descends. His destination, the Cooper Vault, tantalizingly close. Bentley informs Sly he's en route to join him at the vault for the monumental loot haul. Sly travels a perilous web of wires, inadvertently triggering an alarm that activates menacing turrets. With lightning reflexes, he reaches the vault's security system and with a touch of irony inputs the infamous 123 code, disabling the vault's defenses. Sly confidently inserts his cane into the vault's lock, but just as it starts to open, disaster strikes. A missile, launched by none other than Dr. M, strikes the vault door, sending Sly reeling and sealing the vault once more. The unexpected assailant reveals himself, soaring through the sky with a jetpack. It's Dr. M himself. A brief yet intense confrontation ensues, but Bentley manages to sneak up behind the doctor and administer a sleep-inducing dart. Dazed and disoriented, Dr. M temporarily falls from the sky. Sly and Bentley seize the opportunity to make their escape. However, their path to freedom is abruptly halted when Dr. M reappears, wielding control over a colossal mutant primate. With a swift and daring move, Sly tosses his cane to the creature's mouth, forcing it to release Bentley. Yet, the monster retaliates by hurling the cane into the depths of the sea before capturing Sly. Bentley, outgunned and desperate, is left with no other choice but to flee, racing to reunite with other members of the Cooper gang.
It was like they always say, your life really does flash before your eyes. There it all was, stretching back to my childhood. Born into a family of master thieves that went back for generations, I was next in line to continue the Cooper name. but fate had different plans. I was robbed of my childhood when a ruthless gang attacked our home. The orphanage I landed in wasn't all bad. It was there that I met my lifelong friends. Bentley, he's always been the thinker. And Murray, he's the doer. We'd stuck together over the years, and our skill, our confidence, and our thieving reputation grew stronger with each heist. We thought that the good times would never end, and that our luck would never run out, which only made things tougher when the odds finally caught up with us. Then I met this guy, McSweeney, who claimed to have run with my father's crew back in their heyday. They pulled jobs all over the world and amassed quite a collection of priceless items. It was then that McSweeney told me all about the Cooper Vault. It seemed that my father, like all my ancestors, had been hiding their wealth in a secret place for generations, each one adding to the treasure hidden behind a door that, if McSweeney's story is true, only a Cooper can open. Using some well-placed clues provided by McSweeney, we set out for the secret island that held the vault. On arriving, we discovered someone by the name of Dr. M had already set up shop. From the looks of it, he'd been trying to crack the thing for years, growing steadily more frustrated in his failures and more paranoid as the decades rolled by. He built himself a fortress with security as tight as Fort Knox. Getting inside the place would take precision, creativity, and moreover, it would take an army of world-class thieves. Finding and bringing together that much talent won't be easy, but to get inside the Cooper Vault and collect my inheritance, I was willing to pay the price.
In the opening episode of Sly 3, titled An Opera of Fear, we find Sly and Bentley embarking on a mission to Venice to reunite with their friend Murray. This mission was anything but ordinary, as they needed Murray's unique strength to aid their gang. Murray, burdened by the guilt over Bentley's injury during the Clocklet incident, had parted ways with the gang. Sly and Bentley's attempts to persuade him were met with resistance, but they understood the importance of his return. Murray's personal journey had led him to Australia and the teachings of an Aboriginal guru. He underwent transformative training, and somehow his path led him to Venice, Italy. The reason for his presence in this city remained unclear, but Sly hoped Murray had avoided a conflict with the local mob boss, Don Octavio. Don Octavio, who was voiced by David Scully, once a celebrated opera singer in the neighborhood, faced a dramatic turn of fate when the musical taste shifted away from opera. Losing fans to the allure of rock music, he transformed into the role of a mob leader, with grand plans to reintroduce opera to the masses. Sly understood the peril of entering Octavio's territory, but he saw it as a necessary risk to make amends with Murray and bring him back into the fold. In their mission, Bentley and Sly initiated their search for Murray at the Venice Police HQ. Surprisingly, Octavio's henchmen patrolled the streets instead of the actual police. Sly found a way to infiltrate the police station via rooftop. Inside, he navigated through the vents, eventually stumbling upon Dimitri, a former Claw Gang member. Surprisingly, David Scully reprises his role, being the voice actor for Dimitri while also being the same voice actor for Don Octavio. Dimitri, who was uncooperative, but eventually agreed to help Sly. Although, before Dimitri could help, Sly needed to fulfill a task: help him escape. Sly managed to steal a key from Inspector Carmelita Fox's office, and with this key, Sly freed Dimitri. Upon freeing him, he informed Sly that he could meet Murray by Rialto Bridge. Now with this information, Sly needs to distract the cops from Dimitri's escape. He taunts the cops at the police station, which causes Inspector Carmelita Fox to ensue a chase. She follows Sly through the town until he makes his way to Rialto Bridge. Here, he finds Murray hopping out of a manhole and sees that Carmelita and Sly are in a chase. To avoid capture, they both enter a manhole and travel through the sewers. As they arise from the sewers, Murray and Sly speak about making the team whole again, although Murray informs Sly that he made a promise to his guru that he would remain non-violent until he watches the black waters turn pure. He informs Sly of his entire story until Sly goes back to the safe house. Back at the safe house, Sly and Billy devise a plan to stop Octavio's tar pollution of Venice's waters. Their multi-pronged strategy involved infiltrating Octavio's operations, sabotaging promotional balloons, acquiring blueprints, and persuading Murray to join their cause. Sly and Bentley infiltrate Octavio's opera house. Aiming to access his computers for crucial intel, they rendezvous near a discreet entrance to the basement. Inside, they bypass double-button security doors and overcome various obstacles. They encounter a room with bulletproof plexiglass, which Sly navigates using a vent. Bentley hacks into an ancient World Lizard 700 in a control room, but a delay switch triggers an unexpected threat: Octavio's henchmen. Sly handles them while Bentley finishes hacking. They exit with vital information on Octavio's schemes. Sly and Bentley need solid evidence to incriminate Don Octavio in Venice's tar crisis. Sly's reconnaissance work took an unexpected turn when he caught Octavio red-handed pumping tar into a fountain. Sly snapped incriminating photos and followed Octavio as he eluded a bird bath and a water wheel. Surprisingly, Octavio's next move took him to a Ferris wheel, where he made a mysterious call to Giovanni, the presumed creator of the Ferris wheel. Octavio expressed concerns about the tar's speed and readiness for his opera recital. After Giovanni reassured him, Octavio vowed to revive opera one way or the other. Sly took advantage of Octavio's distraction, tampering with the Ferris wheel's control panel. Bentley arrived to help, causing chaos to the wheel spun uncontrollably. Crushing one of Octavio's henchmen, their mission to destroy the massive tar pump was unexpectedly successful. In the final mission of this stage, Sly and Bentley must rescue Carmelita from Octavio's henchmen. Bentley discovers that Octavio enlisted a dangerous Blue Viper Gondola gang to eliminate Carmelita during her patrol. In response, Bentley contacts Sly, who quickly joins the operation. Sly skillfully drives a police gondola while Bentley operates the turret. The canal is far from empty, making their high-speed chase intense. After a tough battle against the Vipers, they safely rescue Carmelita, who remains oblivious to the danger she narrowly escaped. As Carmelita heads back to the police station, she comments on her unusual quiet patrol. Bentley reminds Sly that saving Carmelita might complicate their plans. Sly acknowledges this, but also hints at personal reasons for wanting to protect her. They decide to secure the police boat for future use. Back at the safe house, the team gathered to strategize. Bentley had overheard Octavio's sinister plot. He intended to sink Venice's buildings with tar during his grand opera recital on Carnival's first day. To stop him, they had a multi-pronged plan. First, they had to pop Octavio's promotional balloons to deter the audience. Then, they need blueprints hidden in Octavio's coffee house to understand the scheme. Dealing with heightened security and guards, Bentley devised a plan to create chaos between the Vincennetti gang and the police. Lastly, they had to persuade Murray, preferring a non-violence route, to join their cause. Bentley needed Murray's help for this daring mission. They met by the canal, and Bentley explained the plan: destroy 6 strategically placed tar drums to clean the city's waters. There was a catch though. Murray, a now peaceful soul, hesitated. Bentley appealed to Murray's heroism, reminiscing about his past courage. In a heartfelt moment, Murray apologized for not saving Bentley during the Clocklet incident, but Bentley assured him there was no blame. He simply wanted his friend back. Murray agreed to help, but had a promise to meditate peacefully until the water cleared. Bentley suggested a non-violent solution, using his aboriginal ball form to destroy tar drums. Murray accepted, and the plan was set in motion. As an important note, in this mission, if Murray engages in combat, the mission is a failure, although Murray can use his ball form to attack guards. As Murray resumed his meditation, Sly and Bentley continued their operation. In one of Sly's missions, he and Bentley crafted a clever plan to outwit Carmelita and her squad, dealing with Octavio's security forces. Octavio had enlisted the Vincennetti gang for protection during Carnival, posing a significant challenge for the Cooper gang. Bentley took lead by directing the Vincennetti gang members to the local police station. Meanwhile, Sly used his Italian accent to talk to officers inside, luring Lieutenant Gronk. A scuffle erupted, creating a perfect diversion. Bentley had calculated a 93% likelihood that Inspector Fox would rush to Gronk's aid, unintentionally dealing with the entire Vincennetti gang. And just as he predicted, Carmelita emerged to assist Gronk in repelling the gang members. This mission marked a significant shift as players could control Carmelita's movement for the first time since the initial game in a temporary truce. After handling the Vincennetti thugs by the police station, Carmelita and Gronk swiftly dealt with more gang members on the other side of town. Despite their group's reappearance near the police station, Carmelita and Gronk effectively thwarted their attack. Carmelita commended her lieutenant's exceptional performance, ultimately paving the way for the Cooper gang to sabotage Octavio's schemes and, of course, reunite with Murray. Sly and Bentley face a crucial mission: snagging hidden blueprints with Octavio's coffee houses. Octavio, worried after the Ferris wheel incident, had tight security, so Sly used disguises. Each coffee house had a guard with a password quiz. Sly's clever answers kept suspicion at bay. At the first cafe, Sly donned a disguise, allowing Bentley to grab the first blueprint. They moved on to the second cafe, where Sly's disguise tricked the guard again. As Bentley secured the second blueprint, Sly overheard talk of food. Mom spaghetti. One coffee house remained, opposite the police station. Ironic. Sly provided the correct password but faced a nickname challenge from one of the guards, claiming to be Tony B. Sly left to gather information from other guards. He discovered Tony had an ego and returned with the correct nickname, Tony the Killer B. Engaging Tony playfully, unfortunately, their actions trigger an alarm when Bentley attained the last blueprint, summoning a horde of guards. Sly discarded his disguise to protect Bentley. With all the blueprints secure, they escaped to the safe house. Octavio had tied up balloons around the town to promote his Carnival open recital. Sly and Bentley aimed to destroy these balloons, preventing the recital's audience and the sinking of landmarks. Bentley managed a fireworks stand, crafting explosives to free balloons. Sly joined him. They devised a swift plan. Sly destroyed the Opera House balloons, mooring, sending it flying. Bentley provided more potent explosive for the balloon near the police HQ. It should have collided with the ad sign for the grand explosion, but the wind died, tangling the balloon with the sign. Sly climbed the tower, untangled it, causing a dramatic explosion. They planned for Sly to return to Bentley for an even stronger bomb. However, they were interrupted as Octavio captured Bentley. Octavio had learned of Sly's incriminating photo due to dirty cops at the police station. Sly pursued Octavio to the Opera House, regained Bentley, and retreated back to the safe house. Back at the safe house, the team were ready for the next big operation. Operation Tar Be Gone. Their goal was to end Octavio's tar scheme for good. Here's how they plan to do it. Sly would use his disguise skills to infiltrate the Opera House, assist Bentley in destroying the tar vacuum, and secure Octavio's detonation switch during the opera's recital. Sly's job was to drop a distracting chandelier on Octavio, allowing them to grab the switch. Once they had it, they could stop the demolition and signal Murray to rejoin the team. And so, Operation Tar Be Gone was underway. In Sly and Bentley's first mission, they infiltrate the Opera House to destroy the tar pipes. Sly disguises himself to pass as a guard at the entrance. Inside, Sly navigates through rooms and hallways, finally reaching a double-button security door. Octavio appears, not recognizing Sly. Sly gives him the correct password and Octavio allows him in, urging him to be quick and not disturb the recital. Inside, Sly heads to the pump room and lets Bentley in. The disguise is now off. Bentley is tasked with destroying 6 tar pipes. While Bentley works, reinforcements arrive and Sly holds them off. After Bentley finishes, they move on to their next objective. In their next objective, Bentley has a plan to join Octavio on stage during his recital. Sly's role is to cut the chandelier's ropes and drop it on Octavio's head, allowing them to grab the demolition switch. Bentley challenges Octavio's talent, and Octavio lets him perform, but threatens him afterwards. Sly poised to cut the ropes as the recital begins. As the recital progresses, Octavio inches closer and closer to Bentley, ready to harm him. Just as Sly cuts the final rope, Carmelita intervenes, shooting the chandelier before it can hit Octavio. Chaos ensues, and Octavio escapes with the demolition switch. Sly and Bentley chase him in a police boat while Carmelita calls for backup. In the canals, Bentley shoots Octavio's engine, disabling it. Carmelita arrives in her police chopper, warning them to stop or face lethal force. They head back to the town, the chase persists, and Bentley eventually shoots out Octavio's engine, sending the boat wildly out of control. As they return to the town, their boat crashes onto the stage, bringing it down. Sly making a deal with Octavio. They'll escape the cops together if he hands over the demolition switch. Octavio agrees despite his months of preparation. He shows his coolness by detonating a building on the outskirts. Then Octavio knocks Bentley from his wheelchair, prompting Sly to ask Murray for help. Murray's promise to his girl makes him hesitate, but Sly insists the water will turn clear soon. Bentley, in pain, finally persuades Murray to act. He breaks his peaceful demeanor and engages Octavio, punching him unconscious. Murray and Octavio fight, but Octavio's speed makes him hard to beat, except when the gang uses tar to slow him down. After depleting half of Octavio's health, they need to find more tar valves at the police station. The fight continues there until Murray defeats Octavio. With the demolition switch in hand, Sly and Murray rush to rescue Bentley before the cops arrive, successfully completing this operation.
With the fight over, we went back and scraped Bentley off the pavement. It was touch and go for a while there, but we managed to sneak out right under Carmelita's nose. Octavio wasn't so lucky. The guy got 30 years behind bars for what he did to Venice. I guess Italians don't like it when you sink their landmarks. Ironically, he found success as a singer while in jail. After all, most of his old fan base was already in the clink. But the big score here was bringing our old pal back into the gang. Once he put on those gloves and that mask, it was clear to everyone, most of all him, that the Murrays had returned.
In the next episode, titled Rumble Down Under, Bentley, Sly, and Murray reunite, reminiscing about old times. Murray feels guilty for returning without his guru's permission to quit his training. The gang decides to find the guru, believing his incredible abilities could be valued for the mission to break inside the Cooper vault. Their journey takes them to the Australian outback, but they encounter a devastating landscape due to extensive opal mining, and the guru is nowhere to be found. In this episode, the Cooper gang's first task was finding the guru. Murray led Sly to a cave where the guru usually spent his time contemplating deep thoughts. Sly was intrigued by this interesting character, but the cave was empty. They learned the guru might be in his hut far north. Sly checked, but it was also empty. They suspected the miners might have captured him. Sly called Bentley, who suggested the makeshift stockade was the likely guru location. Sly reached the stockade, found the guru, and explained Murray's desire to return. The guru, while not having any understandable lines, is voiced by Terry Rose. The guru agreed, but needed his walking staff, Moonstone, and individual meetings with Bentley and Murray before escaping. The gang returned to the safe house to plan. At the safe house, the Cooper gang formed a plan to get the guru out of the stockade. They planned on getting the guru's walking staff and Moonstone back. They also planned to rid the Australian outback of the miners that lurked the area. The guru also warned them that the miners have unleashed the mass of dark earth. Apparently, this mass holds a dark energy that was released due to the guru's capture. With the Cooper gang's plan set, Murray embarks on a journey through a cave to meet the guru. Bentley explains the guru's request for individual meetings. Despite Murray's worries due to past events in Venice, Bentley boosts Murray's confidence by highlighting his success, like using his aboriginal ball form against the Tar and defeating Octavio. Bentley guides Murray through the cave's entrance. Inside, guards and obstacles fill the cave. Murray clears the path, breaking stalagmites and defeating guards. He encounters locked doors that he unlocks by smashing pistons. After overcoming challenges, he faces a kangaroo guard wearing the mask of Death Earth. Despite his determination to fight, Murray learns from Bentley that defeating this guard won't help him progress. Murray decides to destroy the electronic drills that block his way, ending up surprised as the mask flees after the guard's defeat. Leaving the cave, Murray reaches the stockade and converses with the guru. He expresses his desire to leave training and rejoin the gang, assuring the guru will help him escape and handle the miners. Murray departs, ready for his next task. Murray's next task was fulfilling the guru's request to cleanse Ayers Rock of miners. Sly joined Murray, who was excited about driving a huge truck. They arrived at Ayers Rock where the plan was simple. Activate a drill to attract giant scorpions, then capture 20 red soldier scorpions with the truck to oust the miners. However, the scorching sand risked melting the tires, so Murray had to cool them in a nearby water pond, or by running over the scorpions. After snagging 8 scorpions, Sly pushed the drill deeper as Bentley detected less underground activity. This depleted the water pond, making it a necessity for Murray to run over the scorpions to keep the tires from melting. Finally, they released 20 red scorpions into the mine's entrance, successfully driving out the miners at Ayers Rock. Now that the miners are gone, there's one last task before the guru gets freed. Sly needs to enter 2 dark caves to retrieve the guru's gear. The miners took his walking staff and Moonstone, leaving him powerless. Sly thinks they stash these items in secure caves that are heavily guarded. Bentley directs Sly to the busiest mine shaft below. Inside, Sly Spryer jumps over drills and sneaks past dingoes to reach the safe with the Moonstone. It's booby trap, so he grabs it and rushes out before it blows up. Now with the Moonstone, Sly heads to the second mine shaft where the cave is dark. Fortunately, Moonstone provides some light. Inside, he finds the second safe with the walking staff. Just like before, it's also booby trapped, and Sly fights off dingoes and kangaroos while under a time limit. When he escapes safely, the mission is a success and the guru can finally reclaim his items. With all the guru's items in hand, it's time to free him. Bentley gives him his staff and his moonstone. As Bentley leaves, a kangaroo guard arrives to watch over the guru. To break free, the guru transforms into an object, luring the guard inside. Seizing the opportunity, the guru takes control over the guard's mind and smashes through the gate. Next, the task is to destroy 4 destructive drills. Bentley briefs the guru on the plan. The drill bases are vulnerable, so the guru uses guards to smash into them. Once 4 drills are down, it's off to Wave Rock for the final mission. Here, the guru must obliterate a massive grinder, wreaking havoc. The generator is the weak link, and the guru uses 3 guards to send the machine up in smoke, causing an electric surge that destroys the grinder. With the miners' machines in ruins, Murray praises the guru for a job well done. Back at the hideout, they welcome the guru to the team. Their next goals deal with the miners in this thing called the Mask of Dark Earth. To scare the miners away, they plan to feed a crocodile a few of them so they can get used to the taste. Then, they aim to confront the miners at a lemonade bar to clear them out of town. Lastly, they need to grab a sample of radioactive oil from a nearby oil field. To thin out the miner ranks, Murray decides to enlist the help of a nearby crocodile. He aims to train the crocodile to develop a taste for miners, making it an asset in their efforts to oust the miners. Bentley spots a crocodile in a nearby lake, and with the guru's assistance, they lure miners towards Murray and the crocodile. As the miners draw near, Murray gathers 4 kangaroos, 4 whipping dingoes, and a dingo flashlight guard. After feeding the last guard to the crocodile, it emerges from the water devouring a miner wearing a mask of dark earth, although the mask ends up escaping again. Despite this, the operation is a success, reducing the number of patrolling miners. Now, Sly and Murray had a task at hand, to gather a sample of radioactive oil from a nearby field. As they approach a cave leading to the oil fields, Murray showed his enthusiasm for the mission, eager for some heavy machinery action. Sly, seeking clarity, asked if it was indeed radioactive oil that they were after, but Murray admitted he hadn't paid much attention to Billy's briefings. Nonetheless, they have ventured into the cave. Upon reaching the oil field, Sly operated a Super Claw 10,000 to fend off approaching miners. Once he had the controls down, their mission began. Murray started the pump for the first 3 oil wells, and a horde of miners swiftly descended upon them, attempting to sabotage the power stations. Sly had to defend their ground, using the claw to fend off the miners by any means necessary, whether it meant dropping dynamite, tossing them in an electric fence, or even in the pits. After activating the first 3 wells, they moved to the next field to repeat the process. With 3 wells in operation, they proceeded for the 3rd oil field. This time, Sly assisted Murray in igniting the wells by dropping flint rocks in one end of the catapult. Murray launched them towards the oil wells, setting them ablaze. All 6 wells ignited, drawing uranium-enriched oil to the surface. Murray approached the wells to collect a sample, with Bentley warning about the extreme caution. However, things took an unexpected turn as Murray ended up covered in the glowing oil. The gang's next mission involves clearing out a lemonade bar that has been taken over by miners. Sly, Bentley, and Murray head into the bar ready to intimidate the miners. Inside, they encounter 3 dingoes, and Sly takes lead, telling them that the bar is now the Cooper gang's turf. The dingoes challenge them to a lemonade drinking contest, which the gang accepts. They win, but the dingoes accuse Bentley of cheating. The situation escalates into a fight involving guards, including the kangaroos. Amidst the chaos, the gang defeats the guards, but a massive dingo wearing the mask of dark earth enters. Sly engages the giant dingo while Bentley and Murray collaborate to stun him, enabling Sly to attack. Murray tosses barrels and Bentley creates bombs for Sly to use strategically. Despite the success of driving off the giant dingo, the mask escapes again. Nevertheless, the bar is now free from the miners' presence. Back at the hideout, they plan Operation Mooncrash. Observing the fact that the miners are on the brink of leaving, the game is pleased, although the miners are still there due to the influence of the Mask of Dark Earth. In order to evacuate the miners, they plan to destroy the mask. In their plan, the guru must take down a gyrocopter to clear the skies. Then, they plan on using Murray and disguise him as the Moon Spirit, which is the Mask of Dark Earth's sworn enemy. Murray's goal in this is to lure out the mask. Once it comes out, he will plan to thunderflop onto the mask, which will destroy it. Not having the mask around anymore helps clear out all the miners and gives the team a new teammate, the guru. Now executing the operation. The first objective is to eliminate the gyrocopter. The Guru is tasked with this, but the gyrocopter has a moonstone sensor that can detect them. To destroy it, the Guru lures guards towards the chopper and jumps off early, causing them to collide with it. After 3 successful hits, the chopper explodes. Now, Murray is coated in glowing oil. He hangs from a crane ready to crush the mask. Bentley instructs everyone to watch out for the mask and avoid Carmelita, who is slowly closing in on them. Spotting the mask, the girl signals Murray, who drops and smashes the dingo wearing it. Unfortunately, the mask survives and now attaches itself to Carmelita. Sly teases Carmelita about the mask, triggering her growth in pursuit. Bentley shoots sleep darts to sedate her, but it only makes her larger due to the mask's interaction. Desperate, they lead her to Ayers Rock, where Bentley defends against explosives and Sly throws them back at her. Realizing they can't outrun her, they decide to confront the real issue, the mask. While Murray suggests using a giant robot, they opt for Sly's climbing approach. Sly dashes towards Carmelita and her 8 mercenaries. Climbing up both sides of Carmelita, Sly forces her to knock off the mask hooks, causing it to fall and for her to shrink. The mercenaries destroy the mask, ending the threat. With the mask defeated and the miners gone, the Australian outback is cleared. The Guru now joins the gang.
Carmelita just lay there, unconscious, helpless on the desert floor. Being gentlemen, we kept watch over her throughout the night. Her camera proved to be a real source of entertainment as we took turns posing. Didn't want her to go home empty-handed. Morning broke, and we got a clear view of the landscape. It was beautiful, empty of the miners that had been digging and drilling into the sacred place. The moment was broken as Carmelita began to stir, and we prepared for another quick exit. Only this time, it wasn't just the 3 of us. For the first time in Cooper gang history, we picked up a new member, and the team would never be the same.
In the next episode, Flight of Fancy, Bentley realized that breaking into Dr. M's fortress and reaching the Cooper Vault required a top-tier RC specialist. After extensive research, he discovered Penelope, a brilliant tech expert from Holland. She initially declined the offer, working for only the best, which in her eyes was her boss, the Black Baron, a renowned dogfighting champion. However, Penelope later proposed a deal. If the gang could beat the Black Baron at his own Aces competition, she would join them. While Sly hurried and obtained a pilot license, borrowing, stealing, whatever you call it, Bentley and Murray constructed a biplane. They were determined to prove themselves to Penelope, even if they were essentially making things up as they went along. After settling into the hotel, Sly dressed as a pilot and met Bentley in the lobby. They were there for the Aces competition, but finding out the competition was a challenge since the flight roster was a well-kept secret. Fortunately, Dimitri, who worked as a commentator for the dogfights, might have information they needed. Sly approached Dimitri cautiously, knowing that causing any trouble would disqualify them. Sly convinced Dimitri to share the roster's locations by appealing to his pride, mentioning his fashion sense. Dimitri agreed, but asked for a favor in return, which Sly accepted. He directed Sly to the Baron's air hangar, where the roster was hidden behind a painting in the secret safe. As Sly left the hotel, the Black Baron himself addressed the pilots, including mugshot scene, warning against the mischief in the past. Sly headed to the Baron's castle to let Bentley in. Climbing the castle's exterior, he overheard the Baron expressing concern about the competition's toughness. Sly reached the castle's roof and Bentley joined them, and they improvised a plan involving a catapult to enter the castle. Sly returned to the safe house, leaving Bentley to retrieve the flight roster from the Baron's hangar, successfully completing their mission. Back at the safe house, they started to devise their operation due to the blueprint stolen by Bentley. In the first round, they would have to fly against Team Iceland and Team Belgium. Sadly, the Cooper team is severely outnumbered. While the other 2 teams have 15 planes apiece, they only have 1. In order to level the playing field for them, they have to frame both teams against each other. Doing so would allow the teams to focus on each other and not the Cooper gang in the semifinals. To frame Team Iceland, the Cooper gang had a sneaky plan. While the Iceland team slept, Bentley, Sly, and Murray prepared in their hotel manhole to steal one of Team Iceland's Viking helmets. Murray questioned his role, but Bentley stressed the need for a discreet operation to avoid suspicion. They used the underground sewer pipes to reach the hotel's ventilation system. En route, often used for sabotage by other teams, Sly and Murray rode a raft through the sewers, reaching an air vent leading to Team Iceland's room. Sly slipped inside, swiping the Viking helmet while skillfully avoiding sleeping Icelanders and their alarms. He returned to Murray, and they had to escape through a different tunnel due to shifting valve gates. Back on the surface, Sly praised Murray for his boat rowing finesse. Murray headed to Team Belgium's hangar next. Tasked with sabotaging their prize plane using his aboriginal ball form, he maneuvered through security and wrecked the plane. Before leaving, Murray planted the Viking helmet inside the plane, making it seem like Team Iceland sabotaged Belgium's aircraft and leaving them a little surprised. Before diving into framing Team Belgium, we got a crucial moment to cover. Bentley gearing up for the Aces semifinals rendezvous with Murray in the Cooper hangar. He was putting the finishing touches up on security setup, but Penelope had tipped him off about a possible threat from a rival air team. So Bentley tasked Murray with keeping watch while he wrapped up security. However, just as Bentley began tinkering with the security system, the hangar's door swung wide open. To their surprise, it was Mugshot, still played by Kevin Blankton. He had a unique payment request, the Cooper plane in exchange for what they did to him back in Mesa City. Unsurprisingly, Murray wasn't buying it, and this refusal prompted Mugshot to summon his army of Black Baron guards that he had in his pocket. That set off an epic brawl between Mugshot's crew, and Mugshot kept those doors open, allowing more guards to flood in. Bentley, watching it from his tech station, piped over the PA system. He wildly advised Murray that fists alone wouldn't dent Mugshot. Instead, there was a nifty button in the room. Push it, and a hefty engine right in front of Mugshot could be sent crashing into him. Murray got the idea and started pounding the button, slamming the engine into Mugshot. After a series of engine-powered blows, Mugshot decided it was time to retreat, but not without a parting threat. He warned that this was just the beginning. Bentley then radioed in, affirming that Mugshot meant business. He detected more guards sneaking in through the sewers. Luckily, Bentley's security system was finally set up and running. He used it to block the guards from emerging through the pipe, while Murray guarded the plane just in case. However, as more guards approached, Bentley realized his security system alone might not cut it. He urgently contacted Penelope using his ham radio. There was a bit of an awkward moment as they exchanged words for the first time, but Penelope confirmed she knew about the attack and was more than willing to help deploy her RC chopper to help protect against the hangar, especially since her boss, the Black Baron, had been betrayed. Penelope is voiced by Annette Todogani. With her RC chopper in action, Penelope skillfully swatted away guards and even a turret-wielding tank, using her RC chopper's grapple hook and boosters to send them flying. She kept the hangar safe, and Bentley was quick to compliment her RC piloting skills. Penelope made it clear that those guards had it coming, and she wasn't about to let anyone betray the Black Baron without consequences. With the hangar secured, the Cooper gang finally shifted their focus back to preparing for the Aces semifinals, knowing their base was safe and sound. With the hangar secure, Sly, Murray, and Bentley regrouped for the next operation. Bentley informed Sly with a critical task, intercepting an armored supply truck carrying Team Iceland's Lucky Ice sculpture. The plan involved delaying the truck by giving the driver false directions. Sly's mission was to infiltrate the truck, steal the ice sculpture, and incriminate Team Belgium by leaving one of their monogram gold lace handkerchiefs as evidence. To obtain a handkerchief, Murray ventured into the lobby, attempting to break Belgium's stoic demeanor and distract a pilot. After a comical incident involving Murray's fist, the pilot finally laughed, allowing Bentley to pickpocket the handkerchief. Outside, the guru awaited his part in the operation. His role was to breach the truck's back door by ramming guards into it. However, the truck began deploying traps after the first hit, making subsequent attempts more challenging. 4 successful hits eventually caused the truck's top to blow open, though the back doors remained sturdy, which Bentley determined would hinder the mission. With the handkerchief in hand, Sly accessed the truck through its roof, discovering a safe as Bentley alerted Sly to the driver's growing awareness of their location. Sly swiftly cracked the safe, swapped the ice sculpture for the handkerchief, and framed Team Belgium for the theft. Now that both teams were framed against each other, both Sly and Bentley readied themselves. Sly headed to the hangar to prep his plane for the semifinals. Poised at the ramp's peak, he was set to take off. With Iceland and Belgium locked in rivalry, Bentley cautioned Sly about staying alert despite the numbers advantage. Underrated, Sly took off, fueled by his eagerness to complete it. In the arena, facing 25 opponents, Bentley offered safety advice, while Dimitri provided a lively commentary. It's funny how, during the episode's first slideshow, Bentley notes that the odds are 30 to 1 although the actual odds are 25 to 1, which is a developmental error in the story. After defeating all rivals, Dimitri proclaimed Team Cooper's advance to the finals. After the Cooper team's victory, they huddle up at the hideout to strategize for the finals against Team Mugshot and Team Black Baron. In this final round, the rules have shifted, with Sly tasked solely with taking down the infamous Black Baron, a stark contrast to the semifinals where everyone was fair game. However, the true challenge lies in dealing with the formidable opponent, Mugshot, who's surrounded by his formidable team. To level the playing field, the gang devises a plan to involve Carmelita Fox and have Mugshot arrested. With Mugshot arrested, they will only have to worry about the Black Baron's numbers. To tip the scales, they enlist the help of a colossal wolf to help even their odds in the high-stakes finals. To outmaneuver Mugshot and secure their plans in the Aces competition, Sly and Bentley devised a strategic plan. Sly's role was to find Carmelita, leading her on a chase into the town square. Meanwhile, Bentley confronted Mugshot inside the hotel, provoking him to engage in a fight at town square. Initially, Mugshot hesitated, recognizing the consequences of disqualification and considering it unfair to attack a handicapped opponent. However, Bentley relentlessly taunts him, including insults to Mugshot's mother, finally triggering his anger. Mugshot agreed to meet Bentley for a showdown. Bentley signaled Sly to get Carmelita's attention, luring her to a chase. As Sly eluded Carmelita, she spotted Mugshot exiting the hotel. Mugshot taunted Carmelita, daring her to arrest him again. A fierce battle ensued, resulting in Carmelita incapacitating Mugshot and preparing to take him into custody. With Mugshot arrested, Team Mugshot had to compete in the Aces final without their leader, removing a significant obstacle for the Cooper Gang's mission in the Aces finals. With Mugshot captured, the Cooper Gang's main concern shifted to overcoming the Black Baron's advantage in numbers. To level the playing field, they hatched a plan involving a colossal wolf for the finals. Bentley managed to acquire a fierce Lupus gigantornis specimen, loading his sleep darts with potent skunk bomb to subdue the creature. The challenge was avoiding the wolf's detecting his scent. The darts had limited range, requiring close proximity. After successfully tranquilizing the wolf, the guru took to the reins, riding the slumbering beast to eliminate 15 Black Baron pilots. Once the pilots were incapacitated, the guru gained control of the wolf before it returned to its habitat. The decisive act significantly improved the gang's odds of triumphing in the finals. Before reaching the finals, the gang had one crucial task left. Bentley needed to hack the aircraft control tower to intercept messages sent to the Baron's gunships. To do this, he had to hack control nodes within local windmills. These windmill computers were too high for regular jumps, so Bentley had to buy a trusty hover pack to reach them. After successfully hacking the first 3 computers, he made his way to the aircraft control tower to tackle the final one. However, this caused a glitch in making the windmill spin uncontrollably. Its propeller broke loose, creating chaos as it crashed into the dam, causing a breach that flooded the stream. Surprisingly, Bentley found this system bug rather helpful for the upcoming heist. Back at the hideout, the gang planned Operation Thermo-Dominant Eagle. Preparing for the finals, Sly needs to plant tracking devices on the Baron's gunships. Then, Murray needs to pull down the aircraft communication system so the team can intercept the Baron's messages. The last task for the team is to take down the Black Baron in the finals. In the operations opening, Sly takes his guys, heading for the Baron's castle. As the intense B-Champs competition unfolds, Sly stealthily plants trackers on the enemy's gunships using his paraglider. These trackers are sensitive to altitude changes, so they need to be kept at high elevation. While Sly readies himself for the finals, Murray, operating a rowboat, skillfully dismantles 3 pillars holding up an aircraft communication antenna. Falling planes offer cover during this risky maneuver. With the antenna destroyed, the Baron is forced to use an unscrambled radio frequency to summon backup gunships. Bentley is poised with his secret weapon, a windmill propeller, ensuring pinpoint accuracy thanks to tracking devices he installed. Sly takes flight, instructed to locate and neutralize the Baron to secure victory. In the arena, he identifies the Baron's distinctive black plane with flashing lights. After a dogfight with the Baron calls for gunships in a separate jet, Bentley hacked the windmill propeller and destroyed the enemy aircraft. Realizing his damaged plane needs repairs, the Baron attempts to cheat by jumping onto his jet wing. Sly intervenes, heading to a physical showdown. Sly emerges victorious, revealing the Baron's true identity, Penelope. She admits her relief that her secret has been uncovered, prompting Sly to inquire about her motives. They agree to have a conversation on solid ground once the plane lands, setting the stage for more revelations.
It was quite a revelation. Penelope and the Black Baron were one and the same. But before we could even process this turn of events, we were rushed to the winner's circle. Somehow, against all odds, we become this year's champions. There was a bit of an awkward moment between Bentley and Penelope. I guess the photos they'd sent each other over the internet were a bit exaggerated. That night, Penelope explained that the disguise was invented to get her past the Dogfighting League's strict age requirements. However, after winning, the Baron became a celebrity, and she found herself putting on the costume more and more often. But now, with the Black Baron out of the picture, she was free to take up a new path, and she joined the gang without hesitation. The next day, our newest recruit treated us to a week-long aerial tour of Holland. She was fitting in just fine.
In the next episode, Billy suggested bringing the Panda King, a former Phoenix 5 member. Sly hesitated due to the Panda King's past involvement in his father's murder and the Thievius Raccoon's theft. However, Bentley assured Sly that the Panda King had reformed and was now a meditating monk in the mountains. Sly, while still unsure, agreed that the Panda King's skills would be valuable. The gang donned disguises and headed to China in the east. In China, the gang finds the Panda King currently meditating. As all the gang members make their way to the monk's tower, the guru created a psychic connection between Sly and the Panda King. It was here where Sly and the Panda King relived their epic battle from the first game. After one round of them fighting, Sly speaks with the Panda King and has a breakthrough, leading to him breaking out of the trance and discussing their plans.
The Panda King wasn't any more excited about the notion of him joining the gang than I was. If it weren't for the guru, who for some reason really hit it off with the old guy, the whole deal would have been a bust. We could see the anger in the Panda King's eyes as he recounted how he lost a member of his own family. A daughter who was abducted by a powerful general from the northern mountains. She was to be the bride in a forced marriage to this unscrupulous ruler, and Panda King was exiled. We agreed to help him recover his lost daughter in exchange for his skills in the Cooper vault job. I still wasn't convinced this was a good idea, but a deal's a deal.
Now that we're all caught up to speed, the gang gathers at the hideout to strategize their mission: prevent the forced marriage of the Panda King's daughter to General Tsao. With limited time, Bentley takes on the role of a wedding planner to learn more about the Panda King's daughter, Jean King. They plan to break into Tsao's business headquarters. Additionally, Penelope's RC chopper has also detected an anomaly on the premises, so it's up to Murray to investigate. Murray stumbled upon an unexpected mystery. The Cooper van escalated in ice. With precision and teamwork, they sprang into action. Penelope used an RC chopper to lift the van from the water, dodging guards and missiles. Then, Murray shattered the ice, but moving the van was an issue. Murray latched onto it while Penelope shielded him from hazards. However, they faced a fuel shortage and dangerous obstacles in the twist of fate. The Panda King joined the effort, manning a turret to aid Murray. Together they overcame adversity, and the van was safely returned to the safe house, completing the mission. In the next mission, Sly and Bentley aim to secure jobs for General Tsao's wedding to gain insider access. To do this, Bentley poses as a wedding coordinator, hoping Tsao will hire him. However, Tsao believes he can handle his planning all himself and only needs a wedding photographer. Bentley suggests Sly for the job, but Tsao wants to see samples of Sly's work first. So, Bentley instructs Sly to disguise himself as a photographer and capture images of General Tsao's cards. Sly snaps 3 photos and, after some sneaky photos of General Tsao himself, presents his work to Tsao. Impressed, Tsao hires Sly as his wedding photographer, and Sly assures him that the wedding will be truly unforgettable. In the next mission, Bentley needs to gain access to General Tso's business center to hack the computer for crucial wedding purchase records. The challenge? The building is protected by a double padlock, and the keys are equipped with the self-destruct mechanisms. Sly and Bentley must coordinate perfectly and steal both keys almost simultaneously. Sly positions himself behind the second guard, while Bentley pickpockets the first key. With precision timing, Bentley secures the first key before the guards can react. The duo reunites at General Tso's statue, where Sly hands over the second key. Using these keys, Bentley breaches the business center. He cleverly uses his raffle cam to lure guards into the pressure plates, bypassing security. Once inside, Bentley hacks the computer and retrieves the purchase records. Mission accomplished. All set for the big heist to rescue Jing King from General Tso, Bentley started outlining the plan to the gang at the safe house. But things took an unexpected turn when Tso stormed in, snatching the thief and that laptop. Bentley was in a frenzy. That's when Sly stepped in, shifting the focus on getting the laptop back. He instructed Bentley to search Tso's place for his personal computer in case it was linked to theirs. Meanwhile, the rest of the team stayed in standby for whatever came next. To track down Tso's whereabouts, Bentley infiltrated his palace and hacked his personal computer. He uncovered vital intel about a secret passage beneath Prayer Bell and a task suited for the Guru. Sly and the Guru rendezvous at the bell, where Bentley manipulated the controls to create an exit below. As the bells descended, it transported Sly and the Guru to a cliff's edge. The Guru showcased his abilities, levitating Tso's guards and objects to forge a path to a distant cave atop another mountain. They crossed this perilous gap, with the Guru resting afterwards. Inside the cave, Sly confronts his Tso on a colossal battlefield surrounded by bamboo. Tso admitted he'd set the stage for Sly and mentioned that the sacred force history of the battles fueled the combatants' abilities to traverse great distances. This part of the battle is similar to a scene from the 2000s film Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, where the two characters fly atop a bamboo forest. Following a showdown with Tso, he laughed and descended to the bamboo forest, where Sly pursued him. Tso acknowledged Sly's resilience and revealed he knew about Sly's attempt to be hired as a wedding photographer. Sly demanded Jing King's release, but Tso refused, explaining his sinister plans involving the Panda King. The battle intensified, with Tso employing dark magic, summoning the dead and fiery dragons. Despite the odds, Sly emerged victorious. Tso conceded defeat, surrendering the computer, but warning of his family's ancient black magic. This part of the battle is similar to a scene from the 2004 film House of Flying Daggers, where multiple characters fight around the foggy bamboo forest. In a final twist, Tso escaped with the smoke bomb, leaving Sly to beware of the looming threat of his family's power. Sly, Bentley, and the Guru returned to the safe house with the laptop. Bentley gave another presentation and outlined the steps, acknowledging that Tso's awareness of the laptop's content had forced them to rethink their strategy to rescue Jing King. Bentley introduced a revised plan. Not only would they liberate Jing King, but they also exact revenge by plundering General Tso's treasure temple. The upcoming mission entailed addressing practical skills like replacing the Cooper van's battery and dealing with the hopping vampires that boosted General Tso's wedding security. Penelope and Murray stumbled upon a box of phone lines, a key to eavesdropping on General Tso's conversations. Murray's task was to unlock it, allowing Penelope to reroute wires for covert listening. When the box opened, a toxic gas knocked Murray out, and General Tso's henchmen captured him, strapping him to an explosive barrel atop a peak. Panicked, Penelope arrived too late. Bentley remained hopeful. Bentley urged Penelope to rescue Murray using her RC car to race against a burning fuse up a treacherous path. Navigating through hazards like crumbly rocks and black magic dragons, Penelope reached Murray just in time to halt the fuse, skillfully knocked an icicle onto it. Murray was saved, and he considered Penelope's RC car a true friend, even offering it a ride in his van. In the next mission, Penelope's reconnaissance spotted a potential battery for the van. Requiring decoupling, Bentley and Sly joined the mission, not for decoupling, but for charging the battery. Sly questioned his role, and Bentley shared his clever charging plan, which amused Sly. Just then, Carmelita arrived, chasing Sly, who had the battery. After Carmelita shot Sly down, she turned to contact Interpol for extraction. Bentley praised Sly for faking his unconsciousness, using Carmelita's shocks to charge the battery. With the battery charged, Sly knew he could rely on it to shield him from Carmelita's shots. He got up to stabilize the battery, leading Carmelita to another chase. Sly stabilized the battery, then lured Carmelita to the safe house and locked the battery onto the outlet. The fully charged battery powered the van, allowing Sly to escape into the safe house. In the last mission before the operation, Bentley directs Sly to a fireworks dash for a ceremony. Needing this help due to Panda King's explosive expertise, although trust is still an issue. They must unite against General Tso's resurrected Jiangxi vampires. Bentley goes to recruit the Panda King. Before setting off, the Panda King has a self-reflective chat with his past self, debating whether to cooperate with the Cooper gang. His past self seeks revenge for Sly's past humiliations, yet the Panda King persuades him that Sly teaches humility, ultimately convincing his past self to aid Cooper. Now Sly and the Panda King plot to eradicate the vampires and their crypt. While the Panda King tackles these vampires, Sly collects fireworks to destroy the crypt. Back at the safe house, Sly leaves the final task to the Panda King, who obliterates the crypt by eliminating the vampire threat to China. Back at the safe house, they hatch a daring plan known as Operation Wedding Crasher. In this operation, Bentley devised a scheme to rescue Gene King and apprehend General Tsao. The plan was twofold. While half of the team embarked on a heist to steal General Tsao's treasure, the Guru and Panda King worked in tandem to create an escape route for Gene King. Their ultimate goal was to entice Inspector Carmelita Fox to the wedding, where she would unwittingly take Gene King's place, leading to the General's arrest. In commencing the operation, Sly and the gang were deep into their heist at General Tsao's treasure temple. Before Sly made his move into the temple, there was a quick roll call to ensure everyone was in position. Ready for action, Sly's first task was to infiltrate the temple and create an opening for Penelope and Murray through the front entrance. Once this was accomplished, Sly had his own rendezvous to attend, meeting up with the Guru and Panda King. Inside the temple, Penelope showcased her technical prowess, using her RC card to stealthily bypass the temple's security nodes. Her mission was to reach the computer controlling the security system and disable it. With precision, she directed the car to the computer, unleashing its current to destroy the critical system. Yet, their plans hit a snag when the lasers blocking the entry to the main room failed, ready to reboot the security system and compromise their heist. In a moment of strategic wisdom, Murray imparted a valuable lesson learned from past experiences. When things go awry, go big on destruction. Penelope concurred, confident in her RC car's ability to obliterate the security nodes. Before backup computer had a chance to react, with their plan on track, the lasers guarding the entrance depleted, granting them access to the temple's inner sanctum. Murray couldn't help but praise Penelope for her impressive demolition skills. Together, they made their way to the heart of the temple, where the treasure lay hidden. As they reached the dragon statue, they found a hatch leading to the treasure room. With the hatch open, Penelope ventured inside to access the loot. While the room was brimming with riches, it became apparent that the temple was dangerously unstable. Meanwhile, Sly in his own pivotal role of play. He made his way to the entrance of General Tsao's palace, where the Guru and the Panda King lay await. Sly left his calling card at the entrance, ensuring their adversaries knew that they were dealing with the Cooper gang. Contacting both the Panda King and the Guru confirmed their position. Sly learned about the unique challenge that lay before them. The area around Sly was littered with vases, each part of ancient Chinese security system designed to detract subterranean thieves. The Panda King, armed with his firework expertise, was able to create vibrations that would destabilize these vases. Sly's task was to prevent any of them from falling and setting off alarms. After the Panda King and the Guru successfully reached Gene King's bridal chamber and rescued her, Sly moved forward in his part of the plan. Bentley took the remains next, using his grappling cam to lure Carmelita, who's patrolling the streets, to the palace entrance. With Sly's calling card in place, Carmelita took the bait and entered the palace to investigate. As she ventured deeper inside, she overheard Sly discussing Operation Alpha with Bentley via radio, mistakenly believing Sly to be aimed to steal General Tsao's bride during the wedding ceremony. With the entire gang present, in response, she took a daring step, disguising herself as a bride. In a twist of fate, General Tsao arrived in the living room, investigating disturbances and interrupting his meditation. Oblivious to Gene King's rescue and replacement, he declared his unwavering commitment to their impending marriage. As he left with the treasure temple, Carmelita made her move, substituting herself as a bride. With General Tsao gone, the Panda King and the Guru, now with Gene King, awaited the Cooper van. Meanwhile, Murray and Penelope had successfully unlocked the treasure room. Sly, having exited the palace through the roof, informed the Panda King that Carmelita had taken the bait, believing that the gang was there to steal the bride. Murray relayed the progress to the treasure theft, expressing his excitement. However, in a moment of unrestrained enthusiasm and with General Tsao approaching, Murray executed a daring thunderflop into the treasure room, shattering the temple's unstable foundation. The entire structure crumbled, taking Murray and Penelope down with the treasure. As they fell, General Tsao arrived, cursing the Cooper gang for destroying his family's temple. Murray retaliated, threatening General Tsao for messing with the Cooper gang. General Tsao, in a moment of arrogance, claimed Murray couldn't harm him. Murray, filled with determination, proved him wrong by launching a treasure chest to Bentley. Enraged, General Tsao summoned the Temple Stone Dragon to attack the gang. A colossal fireball shot from the dragon's maw, forcing Murray to leap off the cliff where the temple once stood, landing amidst the wedding fireworks. Meanwhile, the dragon seized Penelope. Tsao gloated about his impending victory. Sly countered, emphasizing that it's not about the family name, but it's about what you do with it. As General Tsao departed, convinced of his triumph, Sly, determined to free Penelope, Murray, realizing the potential of the fireworks he had landed in, suggested using them to reach the dragon and rescue Penelope. The fierce battle between Sly and the fireworks and the stone dragon ensued. Once the dragon was vanquished, Sly used his paraglider to safely lower Penelope to the ground. General Style, still observing, boasted that while they had stolen the treasure and defeated his family dragon, he still had Jing King and the wedding would proceed as planned. Sly and Penelope hurried aboard the van, escaping General Styles' clutches. Their heist had been a roller coaster of chaos and cunning, but they sped away. They knew they had not only secured the treasure, but also sent a resounding message to General Tsao. The Cooper gang was a force to be reckoned with.
General Tsao had his wedding right on schedule. Everything was as he'd arranged, except the bride came as kind of a shock. Carmelita was a little disappointed it wasn't me she busted at the altar, although I doubt she minded taking Tsao into custody. He did, after all, plague the streets with the undead. From what I hear, the locals were happy to see him go. We dropped off Jing King with her aunt. The Panda King insisted that she be safe there and that he needed to pay off his debt to the gang. I was still wary, but there was no denying that his skills would come in handy. Needless to say, we lived it up in the back streets of Shanghai. What kind of gang of thieves would we be if we passed up on recreation like that?
In the next episode, the Cooper gang takes to the seas and Dead Men Tell No Tales. The gang received a message from Dimitri on a Saturday night. Sly had a promise to keep him from their time in Holland. Dimitri had a surprise for the gang, a cruise to the notorious Bloodbath Bay, a haven for hermit pirates and one of the wildest places on Earth. During the cruise, Dimitri shared the backstory. His grandfather Remy, once a renowned deep-sea diver, amidst the fortune looting underwater wrecks. However, his treasure and diving gear were stolen by a young pirate named Black Spot Pete. Remy retired, started a family, and shared tales of his adventures with young Dimitri. These stories fueled Dimitri's dream of recovering the lost diving gear. The gang agreed to help Dimitri with his mission. Bentley even mentioned the possibility of acquiring a frogman suit, which would be invaluable for their future heist for the Cooper Vault. For the first mission in Bloodbath Bay, Sly seeks out Black Spot Pete in a local bar, hoping to discuss Pete's treasure. However, Pete, suspicious of outsiders, reveals that he only shares such secrets with his shipmate, cantankerous Tim. Sly discovers that Tim's treacherous demise led to the division of his treasure among 3 lieutenants. To disguise himself as Tim and gain Pete's trust, Sly must steal each of the lieutenants' share of Tim's outfit. The first lieutenant, Stone Jake, guards Tim's eye patch. Sly cunningly drops an anchor on Jake after luring him beneath with a clever palm tree whack. The second lieutenant possesses Tim's peg leg. Sly, with reluctance, stealthily unscrews it from behind. Lastly, Tim's captain hat rests with the final lieutenant, Twitchy Ned, who hides fearfully in a crow's nest. Sly tracks Ned down and retrieves the hat. Dressed in a complete outfit, Sly confronts Black Spot Pete, who mistakes him for his old shipmate. Pete challenges Sly to a bout of vinegar talk before revealing the treasure's location. Sadly, the treasure map is in the hand of Captain Lafouille, locked away in Skull Keep. As Sly prepares to depart, Pete warns him about the perils that await the ominous Skull Keep. In the next mission, Penelope has created a hover spectrometer to scan for Dagger Island treasure map inside of Lafouille's Skull Keep. Unfortunately, a pirate mistakes it for something else and shoots it down, scattering its pieces before the data is downloaded. These pieces are rigged to self-destruct upon touch, so Bentley devises a plan to use Penelope's RC card to collect and download the contents while avoiding the pirates. After retrieving the pieces, Bentley and Penelope approach Skull Keep. They find the main entrance inaccessible, but discover an alternative route through floating boxes in the water, leading to a locked door. Bentley cleverly creates a path, demolishing walkway supports, granting them access to the roof. On the rooftop, they encounter Lafouille and First Mate Jones. Lafouille mentions the hover disc, but is interrupted by Jones, who reassures him. Irritated, Lafouille dispatches Jones and promotes his second mate Jones to captain of the guards. Inside, Bentley eliminates the guards guarding the treasure room. After opening the double security door, they discover traps around the treasure. Penelope believes she can crack it with her spanners. Bentley returns to the safe house for her tools while Penelope studies the treasure. However, disaster strikes when Penelope opens a chest and takes the map. Getting blinded by dust, she stumbles out of the window, landing near the front door. Bentley attaches her RC car's turn to his grapple cam, guiding him to Penelope. He lowers the bridges and uses a bird call through the grapple cam to guide her safely back to the safe house. In the last mission before they set sail, Sly and Murray had a vital mission: disable the Gallon's rudder to secure their escape to Dagger Island. After wrecking 4 rudders, they face a harbor patrol. Murray used a jolly boat to smash through its armor. To his surprise, a large cutter emerged. Their target is vulnerable to the mast. With the mast gone, the mission is now accomplished. Now it's time for the gang to steal the pirate ship. Sly, first on board, keeps his enthusiasm quiet to avoid detection by Night Watch. He meets up with Murray at the jolly boat, running the ship where he uses his silent obliteration to eliminate the guards. Once clear, Murray brings the gang over, and they prepare to set sail. Bentley warns them about the sure alarm and cannons in Skull Keep. With odds against reaching the guns, Sly decides to sail for the harbor mouth immediately. Murray hoists the anchor, Bentley adjusts the blast deck below, Sly raises the sails, the gang sets sail, escaping the Caribbean arpeggio into the open waters. Now they need to locate Dagger Island, marked by an X on the map. Sly disembarks armed with the treasure map. Sly follows clues to the statue, kickstarting the treasure hunt. Following hints, he finds a beach that spells SOS in the rocks and the treasure's location. Dimitri rejoices as Sly unearths it, revealing his grandfather's scuba diving gear. Penelope admires the craftsmanship. Before opening the chest further, LaFouille and his crew confront them, holding Penelope hostage. Sly tries negotiating while Murray leans towards confrontation. Bentley, wary of LaFouille's ruthlessness, disagrees. LaFouille demands the gang return to their ship and surrender the gold to save Penelope. They have no choice but to comply, vowing to rescue her. Back on the ship, the team hatches a daring rescue mission for Penelope. Seeing that the ship holding her has returned to the waters of Bloodbath Bay, they devise a strategy. Firstly, enlist the expertise of Dimitri to salvage valuable items from a nearby shipwreck. His underwater skills make him an ideal candidate for this underwater operation. Simultaneously, I understand they need to weaken Captain LaFouille's allies, ensuring they won't pose a significant threat during the rescue. This involves a series of covert maneuvers to destabilize LaFouille's support network. In a particularly unexpected twist, the team plans to befriend a sea monster named Crusher. Building an alliance with this aquatic behemoth might just provide them with a crucial advantage in navigating the perilous waters of Bloodbath Bay and securing Penelope's rescue. With these pieces of their intricate plan in place, the team sets its sights on executing a daring mission to reunite with their captivated friend. Traveling through the waters, the team reaches their first destination to rescue Penelope. The gang faced a formidable challenge: the Red Sail Sea Dog clan, a ruthless band of mercenaries hired by LaFouille to dominate the waters. Their first step was to neutralize this threat with precision and cunning. They set to eliminate each ship in the Red Sail Sea Dog clan's fleet, which will clear their paths towards LaFouille's vessel. As the Cooper gang drops anchor near the shipwreck, Dimitri stands there, all suited up and raring to take plunge. Bentley, with a determined tone, instructs him to be on the lookout for those crucial cannon blast application collars. With a nod, Dimitri submerges into the deep blue water. Underwater, he maneuvers through a tight passage and stumbles upon the wreckage that they've been searching for. The scene isn't just exactly a walk in the park, though it's teeming with menacing gray sharks and ominous jellyfish, making every note a more calculated risk. There's no room for error. The gang needs a total of 6 cannon amplifiers, and Dimitri knows he's the only hope down there. Carefully, he collects each one, well aware of the lurking danger. Once the task is complete, the gang uses a basket to haul the valuable collars up to the surface, but that's just one part of the plan. With the cannon amplifiers secured, their next step is to reinforce their gunpowder with sturdy bones of the hammerhead sharks. These creatures are drawn to the alluring presence of yellow dartfish. Dimitri's next mission is to dive even deeper into the reef's depths and capture a couple of these elusive dartfish. It's a challenging feat that demands speed and precision, and to add to the tension, there are more of those menacing gray sharks lurking in the shadows below. With 2 of the vital yellow dartfish in hand, the situation takes a perilous turn, as 5 ferocious hammerhead sharks appear on the scene. Dimitri has no choice but to swim back up and brace himself for a harrowing deep-sea haunt. One by one, he takes down each hammerhead shark with a fierce underwater battle. Finally, the last hammerhead falls. Bentley's voice cracks over the communication line, complimenting Dimitri on his impressive swimming skills. With the cannon amplifiers fortified and the gunpowder in hand, the gang is now ready to face against LaFouille's formidable ship, as their preparations complete with their determination unwavering. As the gang sailed into the misty waters for their last mission before the heist, they knew the dreaded squid lurked nearby. Bentley instructed Sly and the Panda King to stay vigilant. Sly wisely pointed out they need to navigate out of the fog to avoid colliding with unseen rocks. Suddenly, disaster struck as the ship mast collapsed and a massive tentacle rose ominously from the water, threatening to smash them. Quick on his feet, the Panda King loaded a handful of fireworks ready to fend off the looming menace. With the squid closing in, the Panda King decided to confront the beast head-on using his explosive firepower. He urged Sly and Bentley to descend below the deck to reassure the rest of the crew. The monstrous squid began raising multiple tentacles attempting to crush the ship. The Panda King skillfully uses fireworks to thwart off these attacks. Eventually, the colossal creature surfaced, revealing its menacing face. Now the Panda King had to land a precise hit on the beast's face. The battle raged on as the squid attempted to capsize the ship by tugging on with its tentacles. The Panda King valiantly defended the vessel by shooting down the encroaching limbs. As the beast submerged once more, the Panda King had to strike both its face and tentacles when it resurfaced. The Panda King's fireworks ran out and he called upon Sly for aid. Retreating below deck to craft more explosives, the Panda King handed over the fight to Sly. Sly took charge, realizing that the beast must be nearing its limits. Suddenly the creature reemerged with an even greater number of tentacles than before. It unleashed fireballs upon the ship, setting it ablaze. As Sly had to lure the beast closer for a cannon shot, Bentley suggested disabling the tentacles when they adhered to the ship, causing the suction cups to stick, forcing the beast to come closer. After repeating this tactic 3 times, the flames of the ship subsided, and the creature began to weaken. The rest of the gang joined them on deck. The Panda King praised the epic battle, considering it worthy of their names. Dimitri also commented on their teamwork, describing it as a solid reaction sequence. Bentley approached the guru, wondering if he could enter the creature's mind and persuade it to become their ally. With the guru's words, the mighty beast took a hold of him and descended back into the depths. Murray pleaded with his master not to leave them behind, but their fate now intertwined with the enigmatic creature. Back at the hideout, the gang planned the heist. Operation Reverse Double Cross. For this operation, the gang is now ready to rescue Penelope. They sail back to Bloodbath Bay to outsmart LaFouille at his own game. In this operation, the primary objective is to rescue Penelope, who's gone missing. Bentley deduces that she could be in one of 2 places, Skull Keep or LaFouille's ship. Their initial approach involves LaFouille's ship. The plan is to disable the ship's mast without sinking it, as Penelope might still be on board. Sly sneaks aboard, aiming to provoke LaFouille into revealing Penelope's whereabouts. Sly taunts him, inadvertently leading to LaFouille disclose that Penelope is imprisoned in Skull Keep, where she's kept in irons until she agrees to love him. Sly escapes LaFouille's ship and returns to Murray on their boat. They head for the dock, with Sly instructing Murray to keep their boat secure for their getaway. Sly makes a daring dash to reach Penelope, pursued by several pirates. However, upon reaching the top and opening the door, he discovers it's an ambush. LaFouille has tricked him by placing a fake Penelope dog filled with dynamite, which detonates with Sly still inside. Murray contacts Bentley with grim news that Sly has been blown up. LaFouille's ship is closing in. Bentley, steering the boat, directs Murray to meet him on the harbor's mouth. His plan heads into deeper waters to shake off LaFouille. However, LaFouille and his crew spot them and shoot down their masts. In this dire moment, Crusher, still under the guru's control, emerges from the depths. This massive creature rises above LaFouille's ship, terrifying them into fleeing. Crusher assists Bentley in rescuing Penelope, trapped beneath the deck. As pirates emerge from the deck to stop them, Crusher uses his tentacles to defend Bentley. With Penelope saved, LaFouille returns to the dock and threatens to harm her unless Bentley calls off Crusher. Bentley conveys the command to the guru. Sly arrives attempting to confront LaFouille, but is knocked aside as he falls into the water. Bentley falls from his wheelchair but urges the guru to rescue Sly from drowning since he can't swim. LaFouille stands over Bentley, poised to strike him down, but Penelope intervenes, wielding a pirate sword. The final showdown begins between Penelope and LaFouille, with their duel starting atop the mast. After 3 intense rounds, Penelope defeats LaFouille, sending him plunging into the cold water, where he meets a grim fate with the jaws of hungry sharks. Following Penelope's victory, her bond with Bentley deepens as they finally express their feelings for each other. Meanwhile, Dimitri reveals his newfound passion for diving equipment and enthusiastically announces his role as a frogman for the upcoming Cooper Vault job. In a surprising turn of events, Carmelita doesn't make her usual appearance to arrest the Cooper gang. In response, Sly decides to send her a postcard so she doesn't feel left out, marking a unique moment in their ongoing cat and mouse relationship.
LaFouille was beat, outsmarted by our own resident genius, who'd done more than just rescue a team member. He'd won himself a girlfriend. It was nice to hear him talk. They'd have these conversations the rest of us couldn't even follow. As far as I could tell, They were made for each other. Dimitri was in love too. The new diving gear had gone to his head. We were informed that he'd be our frogman for the Cooper vault job. Not that any of us had even asked him. For the first time in memory, Carmelita didn't show up and cart everyone to jail. Oh well, I'll send her a postcard. You know, I'd hate to have her feel left out.
In the climactic final episode of Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves, our story picks up right where it began. Sly finds himself trapped in the monstrous clutches of Dr. M's creation, his life flashing before his eyes. He's on the verge of discovering what lies in the legendary Cooper vault, a moment he's been eagerly awaiting. But in this dire moment, he reflects on his life's journey and what contributed him to the Cooper legacy. Sly can't help but wonder whether his father will be proud or disappointed in him. As he inches closer to what could be the end, he's haunted by the realization of his own shortcomings, particularly his hesitations with Carmelita. He admits to himself that he never took the bold steps he should have. Looking at Bentley and Penelope, he comprehends that life is about seizing opportunities and taking chances. In his final moments, Sly wishes he could turn back time telling Carmelita how he truly feels. He yearns for a chance to put aside their professional differences and explore the potential for a deeper connection. But as time is run out and the monster script tightens, all Sly can do is beg for the pain to end. Just as the mutant primate threatens to consume Sly, Carmelita and her band of mercenaries swoop into Cane Island, arriving just in the nick of time to witness Sly's peril. She swiftly orders Gronk to prepare his men, declaring that they are about to engage in some intense action. Gronk promptly readies his troops and together they approach the menacing mutant. Carmelita goes on the offensive against the creature, skillfully evading the mercenaries toss her way, incapacitating the guards with finesse. The mutant eventually confronts her directly, but Carmelita emerges victorious from their encounter. As the mutant lies defeated, Dr. M severs his connection with it and faces Carmelita, questioning why the police have intruded upon his home. In response, Carmelita asserts that her presence is driven by the pursuit of justice. Dr. M contends that his actions were in self-defense, asserting that Sly was attempting to steal his property. Carmelita counters, suggesting it appeared more like an attempt on Sly's life. Dr. M challenges Carmelita, accusing her of recognizing Sly Cooper as a notorious thief. Carmelita demands that Dr. M release Cooper, promising they negotiate terms. Despite his proclamation on self-defense, Dr. M commands his mutant to crush Carmelita. She manages to escape onto her boat, but the relentless mutant gives chase. As they sail away, Dr. M decides to hunt for Sly's cane, leaving Sly for dead. Down on the ground, Billy and the rest of the team discover Sly barely clinging to life. They transport him to their boat and provide essential medical attention. With Sly recovering from his recent encounter with the mutant primate, thanks to Carmelita's assistance, Bentley conveyed with Dimitri, Penelope, and the Guru on deck. Their mission: to retrieve Sly's vital cane. Dimitri proposed a straightforward approach, swimming on the buoy and snatching it. However, Penelope raised a valid concern. The cane was secured to an electromagnetic buoy, part of Dr. M's nefarious scheme to trap metal boats approaching the island. Although the gang's pirate ship was wooden, Dimitri's diving gear would magnetize to the buoy if he got close. In a critical moment, the Guru proposed a unique solution, taking control of a group of sharks and persuading them to assist in destroying the buoy. Bentley recognizes wisdom with this idea, as the Guru was the sole team member without any metal equipment. With his prowess, the Guru railed the formidable squad of 10 sharks, inciting them into a frenzy of attack. They coordinated an assault, successfully sabotaging the buoy. However, their triumph came with a price. As the buoy was dismantled, Sly's cane slipped from his clutches and plunged into the depths of the sea, leaving the Guru with intense disappointment. Sly's precious cane slipped from his grasp, plunging into the treacherous waters below. Among the talented crew, there was one member with aquatic powers required for daring retrieval: Dimitri. The task fell capable on his shoulders as he gracefully dived into the depths. In those murky waters, Dimitri encountered a formidable challenge, a swift current teeming with menacing pitchers. His skills were put to the test as he deftly maneuvered through the underwater obstacle course. Swift, entwined with a monstrous mutant fish, armed with a trusty harpoon, Dimitri engaged in a fierce battle with the beast. The waters churned. With the intensity of their struggle, victory was hard won, as Dimitri's harpoon found its mark, causing the mutated fish to erupt with a spectacular explosion. Yet, Dr. M remained elusive, clutching Sly's cane tightly in his grasp. With a wily grin, he swam away, slipping through Dimitri's fingers. Dimitri retraced his path, making his way back to the safety of the ship, determined to regroup and plan their next move. Once Dimitri returns to the ship, Sly awakens, joins Bentley and Penelope on deck. He's eager to know if Dimitri managed to retrieve his cane, but Penelope delivers disappointing news that Dr. M had swiped it. Sly, feeling urgency of the situation, suggests taking action, but Bentley cautions against it. He explains that confronting Dr. M or accessing the Cooper vault won't be feasible with the radar towers linked to the missile turrets. However, Bentley's sharp mind quickly formulates a plan, and he inquires if Penelope has completed the modification they discussed for her RC car. The plan revolves around deploying Penelope's RC car into the drone patrol pipe and disrupting the matrix controlling the radar towers. Sly, unfamiliar with the technical jargon, watches with curiosity as Penelope decides to demonstrate rather than explain. She uses the Panda King to launch her RC car into the nearest drone pipe. Once the RC car is on the pipe, it's time for some action. Penelope's car has been upgraded with punchers on both sides, designed to knock drones off the pipe and collect their energy balls. Gathering a specific number of these energy balls is crucial for the RC car to accumulate enough power to navigate the jump ramp and take out the radar tower. Their mission entails these drone pipes, each connected to a radar tower. With all 3 radar towers are successfully eliminated, Sly will finally have the opportunity to take to the skies in his biplane. In their quest to access the Cooper vault on Cane Island, the Cooper gang faces a crucial task, taking down the island air defenses. Sly, having recovered from his encounter with the mutant primate, is determined not to sit out this mission. He decides to pilot the biplane itself. Under Sly's capable hands, the biplane swiftly eliminates the sensor banks controlling 14 missile defense turrets. These turrets, thanks to Penelope's earlier work, lack a guiding system. With the last returned sensor bank reduced to rubble, enemy fighters rise from the depths of the ocean. Sly takes on a new challenge, disabling their shields with precision missile strikes before skillfully shooting them out of the sky. His marksmanship is unmatched, and all 20 fighters are swiftly defeated. Then, emerging dramatically from the sea, a colossal whale fly appears, with Dr. M intricately connected to it. Sly's presence in the skies elicits excitement from Dr. M, who yearns to prove his aerial supremacy and shed his second fiddle status. He targets the shield, protecting Dr. M, provoking the antagonist to unleash a barrage of missile pods and other defensive countermeasures. Despite the inflicting significant damage on the whalefly, Sly faces Dr. M's taunting laughter. The mad scientist dismisses Sly's attacks as mere child's play compared to his creations. Underrated, Sly makes a daring decision. He abandons the biplane, paragliding onto the whalefly's colossal structure, ignoring Bentley's cautious objections. Upon landing, a shocking revelation unfolds. Dr. M discloses that he and Jim McSweeney were once part of Sly's father's gang. In a twist of fate, it turns out that Sly's father was much like Sly himself, had a penchant for self-centeredness, and even naming the Cooper gang after himself. Sly doesn't hesitate. He confronts Dr. M engaging in a fierce battle and reclaims his precious cane. In the process, he sends Dr. M plummeting in the unforgiving ocean below. With this nemesis defeated, Sly leaps into the whalefly and glides gracefully to the entrance of the vault. In a touching moment, Sly contacts Bentley, expressing his deep desire for both him and Murray to join him as he ventures into the vault. The Panda King plays his part, fitting the Cooper van with rockets to propel it to the vault's entrance. Murray, as always, takes the wheel, driving the van inside. With Sly in pursuit, they embark on the final leg of their epic journey to the heart of the Cooper vault. Inside the vault, Bentley and Murray are left in awe, marveling over its old centuries architecture. Murray speculating its age to be around 100 years, Bentley recognizing it as an archaeological marvel. However, Sly breaks the news that he must proceed alone as the vault was designed for him. Bentley insists that he should go ahead, emphasizing that this place aligns with Sly's destiny. Meanwhile, Bentley and Murray will remain behind, steadfast holding the fort. As Sly ventures further into the vault, he encounters and conquers challenges that span generations, delving into the history of the Cooper clan's legendary members. It's a journey that takes him through the accomplishments and the skills of his ancestors. Finally, he arrives at his father's challenge, And in that reflective moment, he realizes a move that was never documented in the Thievius Raccoonus, the laser slide. This new skill allows Sly to glide gracefully across deadly laser beams as if they were solid pathways. Completing his final leg of the gauntlet, Sly arrives at an imposing door, gateway to the inner sanctum. As he steps inside, he can't help but wish his friends were in there with him, sharing a wonder of discovery in the momentous palace. As Sly ventures into the gauntlet, Murray takes a moment to highlight the impending payoff hidden within the vault. The conversation turns deeper as Bentley wonders aloud if he and Murray play second fiddle to Sly as mere sidekicks. But Murray quickly dismisses this notion, asserting that they are a united team, all in this together. Suddenly, one of Dr. M's henchmen descends upon Bentley from behind. With a swift move, Murray springs into action, vaulting over the intruder and sending him plummeting. They force the door open, more goons surely on their way. Murray strives to illustrate their equality, probing Bentley on how Sly would react if they were here with him. Bentley's response is clear. Sly would fend off these thugs and protect his friend. That's exactly Murray's intent, and he urges Bentley to keep a low profile, sparing his head from potential cracking. In short order, several goons swarm into the room, and a fierce battle ensues. Murray, a towering pillar of strength, stands tall, defeating them, proudly proclaiming himself a freaking totem pole of strongism. Then, Murray, unimpressed, likens himself to a semi-truck with his brakes cut. Dr. M derides him as a caveman, refusing to engage in the screaming match. Bentley proposed that Dr. M might find him a more fitting adversary. Dr. M, however, states they have no quarrel and are essentially the same. Bentley suggests that Dr. M might be the technical specialist who worked along Sly's father. Confirming this, Dr. M acknowledges the pain of working under Sly's father's shadow. Bentley insists that it's not about intelligence, it's brotherhood, and it keeps them united. Dr. M counters, asserting that Sly uses his notion as a tool to control Bentley. Bentley disagrees, emphasizing that it's their happiness and survival that truly bind them, motivating him and Murray to stop Dr. M in his tracks. Murray springs into action, grappling with Dr. M in a fierce wrestling match, acknowledging Dr. M's strength. Murray calls for assistance. That's when Penelope contacts Bentley, advising him to place the treasures from the statues onto Dr. M's backs. These statues outside the ring serve as ancient security devices, and activating them will electrocute Dr. M. As Bentley carries out this task, reinforcements arrive, but he efficiently dispatches all of them using his upgraded grapple cam. Dr. M eventually concedes defeat, commending Bentley's technique but claiming it ultimately meaningless. However, the battle isn't over yet. Dr. M reveals that he planted a tracking device on Sly's cane, allowing him to navigate the gauntlet effortlessly. He escapes into the vault, leaving Murray and Bentley to complete their next move. Bentley asks for some time to think, and Murray, ever supportive, praises his brilliant mind, strengthening their resolve to confront Dr. M and put an end to his schemes. Sly finds himself in the inner sanctum, awestruck by the intricate machines created by Thaddeus and others. He can't help but wonder if these contraptions are still in working order. Suddenly, Dr. M makes a dramatic entrance, confidently remarking that they probably are. But then, in a chilling expressing in his eagerness for Sly's demise, the tension escalates as they engage in a fierce battle. Dr. M takes to the skies using his contraption soaring above deadly laser beams. Sly seizes the opportunity to grab onto the contraption's legs with his trusty cane while dodging Dr. M's laser attacks. With a swift move, Sly lands on the back of the central platform and makes a daring leap, hanging from the ceiling while shielding himself. As tensions build, a Cooper boat emerges from the floor, with Dr. M relentlessly firing lasers at Sly. Sly covers under the boat, but it is swiftly obliterated in a relentless assault. Dr. M descends, and the confrontation intensifies. Dr. M unleashes a water-based attack onto the bed to defeat Sly. Sly manages to triumph over Dr. M in this round, but the battle continues with Dr. M once again taking to the skies and dodging lasers. Sly cleverly refuges beneath the helicopter as Dr. M fires his laser weapon. Another heated battle ensues. This time, Dr. M wielding a devastating electricity attacks. Sly's determination shines through as he defeats Dr. M once more. The pattern repeats itself as Dr. M deploys fire-based attacks while Sly takes cover under a car. In the end, Sly emerges victorious. In a moment of vulnerability, Dr. M concedes that Sly possesses admirable determination, leading to a surprising revelation. Sly insists that his relationship with Bentley is far from what Dr. M experienced with his father. Dr. M reluctantly acknowledges Bentley's selflessness in protecting Sly, prompting Sly to reciprocate that he would have done the same. Dr. M's perspective begins to shift, but he still lumps all the Coopers together. Sly, however, asserts that every Cooper is unique, including himself. He emphasizes the individuality of each Cooper, but Dr. M remains stubborn in his beliefs. Just as tension reaches its peak, Carmelita Fox busts into the scene announcing that both Sly and Dr. M are headed to prison. Despite his defeat, Dr. M decides to make Sly pay for his audacity. He takes a shot at Carmelita, and in a selfless act, Sly intervenes, getting launched into the rafters and losing consciousness. Carmelita vows vengeance, declaring that no one hurts her criminal. And she unleashes her shock pistol on Dr. M. She ruthlessly dismantles one of the legs of his contraption, causing it to collapse under the weight of the tank atop his head. Carmelita then rushes to check on Sly, who appears to have amnesia. Seizing the opportunity, Carmelita declares Sly her partner, Constable Cooper, with Sly playing along. They recognize the danger as the ceiling threatens to cave in. Bentley finally arrives, entering the inner sanctum calling for Sly, and the mission reaches its conclusion.
We watched as Dr. M just stood there, unwilling to leave as the walls caved in on the vault. He'd spent his life lusting over the Cooper fortune, and he wasn't going to give it up, no matter what the cost. Our exit was a little rough, but Murray managed to get us out just in time to witness the final fate of the Cooper legacy. It was a bittersweet moment. The end of the road always is. We both looked on, lost in our thoughts, thinking back on all the adventures that had brought us here. The people we'd met and places we'd seen. We'd worked for a long time to get Sly into that great vault, and now its secrets were hidden again, this time for good. I could only hope that he'd found what he was looking for in there. We searched every inch of the island for Sly, retrieving the gang one by one, only to make the surprising discovery that he didn't want to be found. As always, he'd left a calling card, only this time, it was worth millions. The months rolled by, and when Sly still hadn't shown up, Murray headed back east to complete his training with the Guru. Without Sly as our leader, for the first time, we each had to step out on our own. A difficult thing. We'd been together ever since we met at the orphanage. To this day, Murray and I are still close. Recently, he's been trying to break into the pro racing circuit, stock band class. Things are looking good. He's got a unique talent for living through crashes other people would have found fatal. Just always bounces clear. And of course there's Penelope, my new partner in crime. Let me tell ya, I'm in love. She and I have set out on a journey that I never would have dreamed of while running with Sly and Murray, although I hope our paths will cross again soon. So while this might be the end of our adventures together, it could be the start of something even bigger. Time will tell. Literally. 'Cause I'm building a time machine to find out. Sneaky devil.
Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves is an adventure that not only delivers exhilarating heists, but also explores themes of camaraderie, redemption, and personal growth. While the game excels in many areas, it falls short in trying to draw parallels between Bentley and Dr. M, enforcing a jealousy arc between Sly and Bentley akin to the dynamic between Sly's father and Dr. M. Here, we'll delve into what makes Sly 3 a positive and enjoyable experience, as well as where it stumbles. Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves shines bright when it comes to its themes and character dynamics. One of the game's standout aspects is its emphasis on friendship and loyalty. It showcases how Bentley, Sly, and Murray, despite their differences and past conflicts, come together to accomplish a seemingly impossible mission. Their unwavering trust in each other is heartwarming, and it serves as a powerful message about the strength of friendship. The game introduces a diverse cast of characters, each with their unique skills and backgrounds. From the mysterious and agile Sly to the tech-savvy Bentley, the game encourages players to appreciate the value in teamwork and individual strength. The addition of the new characters like the Guru, Penelope, Panda King, and Dimitri adds depth and variety to the storyline. The game explores a theme of redemption, particularly through the character of Murray, who returns to the gang after leaving due to Bentley's injury. This subplot demonstrates that people can change and seek to make amends for their past mistakes, reinforcing a positive message of growth and self-improvement. Sly 3 presents numerous challenges and obstacles that the characters must overcome together. It teaches players the importance of resilience, adaptability, and problem solving. The fact that Sly and his crew face seemingly insurmountable odds but never give up on their mission serves as an inspiring example of determination. Sly Cooper himself is a charming and witty character who interjects humor into the game. His clever one-liners and quick thinking keep players engaged and entertained. His character is a reminder that a positive attitude and a sense of humor can make even the most challenging situations more bearable. Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves shares some similarities with the iconic film Ocean's 11. Both narratives revolve around a heist carried out by a team of skilled individuals who each bring their unique expertise to the table. Here's how they compare. In both Sly 3 and Ocean's 11, the success of the heist relies on the collaboration and trust among team members. Sly's gang, like Danny Ocean's crew, must work together seamlessly to achieve their goals. Just as Sly 3 explores themes of redemption through Murray, Ocean's 11 also features characters seeking redemption, such as Rusty, who returns to the team after some time away. Both Sly Cooper and Danny Ocean possesses a charismatic and charming demeanor that adds to a lighthearted touch to their respective stories, making them more relatable and endearing to audiences. The plots of both Sly 3 and Ocean's 11 involve meticulously planned heists that require useful execution. The satisfaction of seeing these complex plans come to fruition is a shared element of excitement. Now that we've explored the positive aspects of Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves, it's time to address the shortcomings. One of the game's central plot points is the supposed parallel between Bentley and Dr. M, both whom were portrayed by genius inventors. The game tries to create tension by suggesting that Bentley is following in Dr. M's footsteps. However, this parallel is underdeveloped and lacks depth and need to make a compelling narrative element. Another narrative misstep in Sly 3 is the attempt to force jealousy between Sly and Bentley. Reminiscent of the relationship between Sly's father and Dr. M, this angle feels contraried and doesn't align well with the established camaraderie between Sly and Bentley throughout the series. Instead of focusing on Bentley and Dr. M's rivalry or creating an unnecessary tension between Sly and Bentley, the game could have just used this narrative space for something more meaningful, like character development. Bentley's journey from a tech-savvy but physically limited character to someone who can hold his own in the field deserved more attention and exploration. Rather than sowing discord between characters, the game would have depended on the relationships within the Cooper gang. It's a missed opportunity to showcase how their bond has grown stronger over time. In conclusion, Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves excels in many aspects. It falters when it attempts to draw parallels between Bentley and Dr. M and forces a jealousy arc between Sly and Bentley. These narrative choices feel underdeveloped, lack emotional qualities, and fail to adapt to the characters and their relationships. This game could have benefited from a more thoughtful approach to these aspects, allowing for better character development and a more engaging storyline. Nonetheless, it remains a fun and engaging adventure that delivers positive messages of friendship, loyalty, and personal growth, making it a worthwhile addition to the Sly Cooper series. In Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves, players embark on an exhilarating adventure with a diverse cast of 8 playable characters, each bringing their unique abilities and gameplay styles to the table. While Sly, Bentley, and Murray return as the core members of the Cooper gang, The game introduces 4 new characters. While all characters have their roles, Sly, Bentley, and Murray have the freedom to roam and explore the vibrant world of the game. Sly's gameplay retains the essence of previous titles, but this time he's armed with additional skills to overcome specific challenges. Sly can now expertly crack safes using his intuition, take to the skies in a biplane equipped with formidable turrets, don various disguises to outwit guards, and even command a pirate ship with cannons. Bentley, who has always been a tech genius of the game, now faces new challenges. He is confined to a wheelchair. This limitation enhances his versatility. Bentley can use his wheelchair as a formidable weapon, employ a hover pack for extended jumps and smoother descents, and strategically drop his explosive gadgets onto enemies. He is also skilled at pickpocketing, utilizing a unique pickpocket pole to reel in coins and valuables. His last newest skill is he is now an art decryption expert when it comes to cracking safes. Murray, the muscle of the team, also joins the pickpocketing ranks, albeit with more of a direct approach. He can lift and shake down guards and claim their loot and coins, ensuring that none of the gains go to waste. Moreover, his Dreamtime training grants him access to the fearsome aboriginal ball form, a multi-purpose ability allowing him to unleash a damaging energy field, reach incredible heights with leaps, and generate shockwaves upon impact. Carmelita Fox, known for her role as law enforcer, wields her trusty shock pistol, primarily for ranged combat. Players can even toggle a strafe mode for precise aiming. In close combat, she relies on a powerful melee move called the power kick, though her shock pistol usually takes precedence. Additionally, she boasts a mega jump ability, propelling her onto the air for strategic positioning. The Guru employs his Dreamtime prowess to navigate through missions. His unique skill lies on possessing enemies to quickly traverse areas, even using them to demolish structures. While he cannot directly engage in combat, he can command possessed foes to fight on his behalf. The Guru can also employ his staff to bend his surroundings, rendering him invisible to enemy detection. Penelope rarely steps into the spotlight herself, preferring her remote control gadgets. She commands a RC chopper equipped with a grappling hook for latching onto targets, and an RC car for speedy ground missions, complete with a turret to eliminate obstacles. The Panda King brings fireworks to the table, serving as the explosive expert. His main attack involves loading fireworks into the launcher and targeting multiple enemies simultaneously. He also boasts a flame fu style karate chop for close encounters, instantly setting weaker adversaries ablaze. Dimitri, the underwater expert, delves into the underwater first-person shooter gameplay. Players can navigate freely in 3 dimensions, swimming in all directions. Dimitri's primary weapon is a spear gun with a moderate rate of fire, essential for completing aquatic missions. In addition to these diverse characters, the game introduces new gameplay elements, such as engaging in conversations with dialogue trees, solving issues to progress, an immediate addition of loot to your coin count, removing all need to sell items as seen in Sly 2. Clue bottles and scattered treasures are no longer a part of the experience, and the game's environment evolves dynamically as the story unfolds. For those with a Sony PlayStation 2 headset, the game offers a unique feature allowing players to use the microphone to distract nearby guards or enhance the immersive experience. Sly 3 also introduces 3D compatibility, with optional 3D sections that require special glasses for certain obstacles. These sections focus on background elements and minimizing disruptions for those watching in 3D. As players progress through the game, they can unlock a variety of bonus features, including Master Thief challenges, concept art, bonus videos like Goodbye My Sweet and the Evolution of Sly, and even a music video for Dimitri's theme. Additionally, an offline 2-player mode offers floor split screen minigames, adding even more excitement to the Cooper Gang's escapades. Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves is a richly layered game experience that combines thrilling heists, intricate puzzles, and diverse gameplay styles, making it an unforgettable addition to the Sly Cooper series. Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves offers a ton of hours of gameplay with multiplayer. These offline multiplayer experiences add depth and fun to the game, allowing players to team up or face a variety of challenges. The first minigame, Cops and Robbers, transports players to the Venice hub world. Here, player 1 takes on the role of Sly, with the mission to transport pieces to the designated locations. On the other side, player 2 becomes Carmelita, whose objective is to thwart Sly's progress and prevent him from delivering the loot. The game keeps score, and the first player to reach 5 points emerges victorious. The minigame injects a sense of competition into the cooperative world of Sly 3. It's a battle of wits and strategy, as Sly attempts to outsmart Carmelita while she tirelessly pursues him through the bustling streets of Venice. Cops and Robbers provides an exhilarating change of pace from the main storyline, allowing players to test their skills against each other. Biplane Duel takes action to the sky, as Player 1, Sly goes head to head with Player 2, Carmelita, in an intense dogfight. The objective? Be the first to defeat the opponent 10 times. This minigame transforms the tranquil skies into a battleground filled with loops, rolls, and aerial combat. The Biplane Duel minigame showcases Sly 3's versatility, introducing players to a completely different style of gameplay. The rush of soaring through the clouds while engaging in high-stakes dogfights adds an adrenaline-pumping element to the game, perfect for those seeking an aerial challenge. For players who prefer cooperation over competition, Hackathon offers an exciting co-op experience. Player 1 becomes Bentley, and Player 2 becomes the role of Penelope. Together they must navigate a series of hacking levels, sharing a set of lives to overcome obstacles and adversaries. If Penelope hasn't been recruited in the game yet, Player 2 gets to be Sly. Hackathon is all about teamwork and coordination. It mirrors the dynamics of Bentley and Penelope's partnership in the main storyline, emphasizing the importance of collaboration to overcome hurdles. This minigame reinforces the theme of unity prevalent throughout Sly 3. The final minigame, Galleon Duel, pits Player 1 as Sly steering a galleon with Murray as the helmsman against Player 2 controlling Bentley's ship with Penelope at the helm. The objective here is to defeat the opponent 3 times to claim victory. Naval warfare takes center stage in this minigame, providing players with a thrilling maritime showdown. It's a test of strategic thinking and precision, as players must maneuver their ships, fire cannons, and attempt to outmaneuver their opponents on the high seas. Galleon Duel adds a splash of variety to Sly 3's minigames, showcasing the game's commitment to diversity in gameplay. Video games, much like an art form, evolve over time. With the release of Sly 2 Band of Thieves, we saw the beloved Sly Cooper series mature, introducing new playable characters in a more expansive world. However, it's fair to say that while the series expanded its horizons, it may have lost a bit of its original charm. Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves, released just a year later, continues the trend of growth and transformation, but is not without its challenges. While Sly's name is still in the title, Sly 3 puts a greater focus on the entire cast of characters. The shift leaves both positives and negatives in the game's design. On the positive side, there's an abundance of diverse activities to engage in. Sly 3 continues the tradition of offering a variety of missions, each with its own unique flavor. It's an ad approach to the game design that keeps players constantly engaged. However, the downside is that Sly 3 takes its time building up to the frantic action found later in the levels. This gradual progression can be a double-edged sword. While it provides a sense of development and complexity, it tests players' patience before they get to the heart-pounding action that Sly Cooper games are known for. The gang starts out with just 2 characters, Sly and Bentley, both familiar faces from the previous adventures. Bentley, now confined to a wheelchair after a tragic injury, gains some positive abilities, including a jetpack spin attacks. Murray, the muscle of the gang, is absent, embarking on a spiritual journey. The need to expand the gang becomes evident as Sly aims to access his family's vault, fiercely guarded by a genius adversary. This quest brings back Murray and introduces more characters to the game. The gang swells to a robust 7 members, each contributing their unique skills and abilities. Sly 3 retains the familiar formula of missions taking place in large open environments, where Sly and Bentley can sneak around and pickpocket guards for loot. However, there's less time wasted on traversing sprawling landscapes. The game offers a more streamlined experience, reducing the overall playtime to around 12 hours for the story mode. What sets Sly 3 apart is its willingness to experiment with different gameplay styles. Some missions require players to take control of multiple characters in quick succession, creating an action movie-like experience. Carmelita, Sly's nemesis and love interest, also gets her moments in the spotlight, further diversing the gameplay. With more characters comes more plethora of gameplay ideas, but the quantity doesn't always translate to the quality. there's instances where the minigames feel underdeveloped or unbalanced. The guru's mind control mechanics, while quirky, can be awkward. Similarly, some RC car racing scenarios lack the depth to justify their inclusion. One noticeable drawback is a lack of difficulty within the challenges. Sly 3 seems to target a younger audience, resulting in a less challenging gameplay. While Master Thief challenges offer some replay value, they too often lack significant challenges. The two-player games, while fun for a short while, don't provide substantial depth. On the upside, Sly 3's story benefits from the expanded cast. Boss battles are more captivating than ever, with each antagonist having solid motivations. This game delves into the introspective dialogue, adding depth to the characters and the series as a whole. The final levels, set in the pirate territory, stand out as a culmination of the game's strengths. These segments draw inspiration from the classic pirate-themed games and movies, offering a satisfying blend of searing adventure and swashbuckling action. For those looking for a visual twist, Sly 3 offers the option to play certain parts of the game with 3D glasses. While not groundbreaking, it adds a fun layer of depth to the experience. In conclusion, Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves is a mixed bag of gaming delights and missed opportunities. It expands on the series formula, introducing a larger cast and a diverse range of gameplay styles. While some elements shine, such as the captivating story and memorable bosses, others fall short, like the lack of challenge in many aspects of the game. Ultimately, Sly 3 remains a fun and engaging adventure that caters to a slightly younger audience. It's a worthwhile addition to the Sly Cooper series, but falls short of achieving its true greatness due to uneven execution of gameplay elements. I might have to give this game 8 Coopers out of 10. Thanks for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the content, hit that like button and drop your thoughts down below. If you're new to the channel, don't be a stranger. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a Retro Phantom's retrospective. Until next time, this is the Retro Phantom, signing out.